In today's video, which also forms part 2 of our Gtech Air Ram K9 adventures, we need to get this looking a little bit less like this and more like a humongous pile of bits, and see if we can work out what makes it sound so interesting. Oh, let's take apart a Gtech Air Ram Mark 1. Yes, hello my vacuum cleaner chums, how are you today? Yes, we have the filthy, disgusting, pretty horrible Gtech Air Ram K9 and I want it refurbished really. So we're going to start that now. However, to go with the picture rebuild thread that I have on there, I thought I'd try and do a video one as well. Then the two can work hand in hand, seamlessly together to provide a pretty good reference guide on these, because they are horrible, flimsy, fiddly, terrible, not long lasting plastic pieces of rubbish, really. But I will not let my personal opinion bias this video. We have a vacuum cleaner, we must fix the vacuum cleaner. That is basically what Beko 1987 exists to do. We'd best take it apart really. I have the screw card, which I actually did on the last, there it is, on the last Air Ram, so we won't have to worry, well I won't have to worry about what screw goes where. I have my toolbox, although we won't need many tools from it, and we're going to start actually with these bins to get them out of the way. I'll do both because then, you know, I can get both cleaned up. And as you can see, they're rather full of dirt. The filters are absolutely rammed chock full of crap. Yeah. Really need to keep your filters good on one of these, but there we go. Why does it clip? There is no point in it clipping. Yeah, keep your Air Ram filters very clean. Then I'm going to go get a vacuum cleaner and we'll clean this up now. There we go. I've actually found that these are different parts. One is dated 13 and 12 and one is dated 9 and 12. So either way, this pile of bin can go in the green box that I have. These, and this one is starting to already perish. It's been damp. You can see, look, it's all caught on there. These are going through the washing machine and we'll see how they come out in a future video. Oh, right, so now this thing isn't going to belch dirt everywhere. We'll pop Benchy off shot for a minute until we need him. We can get on with the other part of the machine, really. I had a small screwdriver handy and now I can't find it. Oh, we need that for the next task. So let me go and hunt that down and we'll come back. Okie dokie, pig and a pokey. I just want this flat base screwdriver. So if you remember from the before or first look video, couldn't get the battery out. So now we are going to try just a little bit of pressure. So it is a Gtech genuine battery, which is excellent. Don't forget this cost me £15 and it seems to be okay anyway. I don't actually know because I have barely used it. The only time it's been turned on is on camera because obviously there's something wrong with it. So that is cool. I'm going to pop that up there because we don't need it anymore. Just wanted it out of here. Speaking of out of here, and while we're at this angle, we can push down on this black tab here, which will give us the handle. If I then get another flat base screwdriver that's a bit more robust, we can push the handle off. Although I now can't remember how I did it last time. I think I had to brace it in between my knees to push both clips up at once, and then off it comes. There isn't really much point to that, I'll be completely honest. This is just to show you how much it can come apart. I haven't taken it apart anymore though, so I think all that is sort of moulded together. And well, we can take this off. Look, there's another, or rather the same plastic tab. And if we just tease this bottom piece off slowly, this is the piece that sort of fits into the machine itself. Oh, there is no point. It will come off, but there isn't much point. That is as far as we need to go. They can be washed as they are, and we immediately have something much easier indeed to use. Now, for the last one of these I did, we actually wanted to do that bit last and start off down here because the wiring is, you know, we can cut the wires down here or unsolder them, but I'll probably cut them. We can't up there, so flipping underneath, and this is where we start to need our screw card, although it starts from down here. Excuse me, we need a crosshead screwdriver to undo the end caps. Now the end caps are user, that's too big of a screwdriver, they are user serviceable. So that's why they're Phillips and everything else is Torx. We'll also notice that the screws are different sizes. The long one goes at the back and the short one goes at the front. Really important. Numbers don't do the best. Take the end caps off. Now during this strip down, I'm also personally looking at the parts because this is the K9. There it is. And a couple of the other collectors have told me that the K9 is beefier than the original non-pet one of these. So hence why we have, not plastic, metal Brushroll end cap. So hopefully all of this hair and fluff and dust will just fall off. And we can put those in there. Obviously on the normal non-K9 version, all of that would have just been a mass of melted plastic. Then we can, wow, crikey. Hello, I'm Mr. Furball. Yeah, there's another one this end, look. This is why they're awful. Absolutely awful machines. They just do this. Even the new ones, there is a video on my channel of the Mark II, which is just as bad. Haven't learnt a thing. So hopefully this video See, I picked that off already. Oh, we've still got more to do. Let's take the other one off. And actually we can see the cogs. They're different cogs for different ends. But that's fine. We can see the cogs. In fact, what I'm going to do is plug the battery back in. I'm wondering if this is going to be actually transformed just by cleaning off the brush roll. Which I shall do now quickly. And there we go. Just, oh wow. That is from the brush rolls. Crikey. And they all come apart quite nicely when they're, you know, not full of rubbish. So I'd quite like to spin this back up again quickly. Just to see if that is improved. And I think I can do that by simply just pushing the end caps almost just into place. There we go. And if we just hold it, should be alright. Just because obviously, you know, if you're taking yours apart and if you've just found that, well, you might save yourself having to do any more. It depends on what your problems are, really. There we go. We'll pop the battery back in. Wow. I think that's almost normal. Brilliant. But obviously it's all coming apart because I would like to wash it. Don't want other people's filth in this vacuum cleaner. So, job done. Investigations investigated. You can go off there. Oh. And we can continue by removing the row of static brushes, and for this we need to find the correct size Torx, which is a worn off, so it's a small Torx bit, and we undo the 4 screws that hold this little row of static brushes in place, which I think are there, so on hard floors, because you can't turn the brush on off, because if you did, this thing would have no suction at all with its 100 watts. Doesn't kick all the dirt back under the machine, so that's good. There we are, look, static brushes, and they do just lift out. I think might need a little bit of persuasion because it is going to be full of dirt. We'll lift the brushes out. Oh, we'll get the benchy out again. There we go. Right, next is apparently, we've taken the dirt bin out. The motor tunnel, yes. Which is these 4 screws here. One. There was the crack of 2. Try different. That's better. That one I was using was just a size too small, I think. 3. And 4. And then the one on the front, which is a lot longer than the rest. What does this take out? This takes out something. But I can't quite work out what it is, so we'll carry on. Ooh. Look, what's just fallen out, look. That is a tag for a coat. A, why is my camera not focusing? B, what the heck is going on? Well, we're just going to keep taking this apart for now. And I shall try and work out. I have under Brushroll, which these are. There is a way it comes apart, but so read the thread if you want the actual order. Let's watch this. If you want to watch me take apart a Gtech, really. I reckon that's been sat under there. It's probably what half the flipping noise was. I don't know. Then more filth cascades out of the thing with the half of the base plate, I suppose you could call this. Get that big chock of dirt out because that doesn't want to go through the wash. Then flip it back over and the front comes off as well, which as you can see is a perfectly hermetically sealed, even with this plastic seal here from the elements. Good job all. Then the inner shell comes up. So there's that part. Oh, this is jolly. Oh, hair. Big hair galore. Right. Now we have a little bit of something. And we're going to now take out these 2 screws up here. They just sit in there. These are ones I've called dirt bin. They're not dirt bin. This is from my first one that I thought was screwed in. It actually will now enable us to take a bit of a step forward. And then there's 2 at the front here. Air Ram technology. Says the piece of plastic. How jolly. We love Air Ram technology, don't we, folks? There we go. I knew it did that. The whole motor literally lifts out, revealing all of that. That's the contact points for the motor. So it's amazing that not more of these caught fire really. That's very lucky indeed. I'm going to take these end caps off as well because we've already just lost one. Might still be on the end of the brush roll perhaps. No. Yes. Fantastic. So we'll pop that to one side for now. And we'll carry on with this. And by carry on with this, I mean... do a little bit of that. Now, these wires here, I cut last time because I just couldn't quite work out how they join. And the answer is they don't. Well, they do. They solder onto there, onto those built-in resistors, which is a bit of a pain. So what I plan to do is quickly just sort of put the wire back until I can see into the back here, so I can work out that if I chop this here, then when we put it back together we'll get some very small connectors and some heat shrink. And put it all back together because I don't fancy soldering. There's no need to solder. Obviously you would if you were doing it properly, but at the back there is nice dead space anyway. So there we go. We now have both wires released, so we can go ahead and remove the one screw, I think. That holds this in place. Now this is, again, look at all that grit. People wonder why I'm just not Gtech's 100% biggest fan. Right, we'll leave that for a second. We'll go on the latch. We'll get the two out here that screw the actual terminals to the bottom of the machine. So we can lift all that out, blow it free. Yeah, so you could, if you were handy with a soldering iron, literally just take that blob of solder off that terminal, but we haven't, so we can't do it. Oh, I've left my parts box all the way over there as well, so I'll just start piling them up down there. Now this bit is what holds the bin in. It literally does that. And that's what gives the bin its grip. And you can see the two bars there. And they push through. And it all does that. I forgot about that. There's a whacking great big spring, which now isn't actually on this side. Luckily I heard it bounce, so I think I can go and fetch them. Hang on. Found the other wheel, but I haven't found the other pin. I'll have to go hunting for that. It's in that back corner of the room somewhere. And yeah, once it's empty, you take out all the fluff that was inside of it. That bit is empty, is poly. Jolly good show. Right. Now the next screws, actually, that I'm going to do a tour of these. There we go. The next screws we're going to undo are these back corner ones, and this is where I cannot quite remember the order of which it does actually come out. This is a little bit silly of me. So you'll have to bear with just for a second. Ah, there's two more here as well. Ah, these will be, I think, what I've called wheel trim. That makes sense. Under rear wheels, that's these. There's another one in here, look. That allows these two just covers to come off, and then we have just a little bit more access to where we perhaps might need to go. Now, next we need to pop off the wheel cap, find a pair of suitable pliers. In my case, although, why are they going so far? There they are. I have some circlip pliers. So we can, although it's still difficult. There we go, we can take off the little circlip. And then the wheel will pull off, revealing a washer on either side, small washer at the front, big washer on the back. And there is one wheel off. Exactly the same with the other side now. Pop the cap off. And there we have both of our rear wheels, which are quite worn, really. Nice brass bush in there. And this is where we can undo these screws here. Although don't smash your tiny parts pot everywhere in the process. So we'll undo this screw. And then flip it over, and there's one on the other side. It will be a little bit stiff because there's a nice big dollop of thread lock on it, as you can see by the slightly blurry. My camera doesn't like changing its field of view, doesn't it? Oh dear. And with both of those removed, ta-da! This is why we had to cut, or otherwise, remove those cables. Oh, and they're glued in on this as well. They were glued in on the other flipping Gtech. Oh, we might also be able to tighten up that loose joint as well. So with that off, this is actually empty now. This is it. This is as empty as... No, it's not. Hang on. There is one more thing. The two wheel trims that sit. That's where I got confused then. Aha. So you always label your screw card correctly because you use it subconsciously to put the machine back together in the right order. There we go. Obviously, when I first took one of these apart, I didn't do that well, it seems. What's this part dated? This part's dated 2014. And there we go. There's the whole bottom shaft empty. Right, we shall carry on with this for a little bit. We have the pivot plate itself, which is all under here, really. So first we're going to have to pull these wires out, and I remember these being a massive pain. We're going to need to hot glue these in a little bit, because actually on the first Gtech Air Ram they stuck this cable in so much. That's just pulled out, so that's quite nice. So that is what we want. We want that to go there. Now there are two little bolts, little nuts and bolts on either side, so we'll take those off. I don't need to get my socket set out for these, they're so small. Finger pressure will work, we'll just put them back together so I don't lose them. And then stuff starts falling off, which is always what you want. And we can see that it was these. They actually go on a different way around. I'm just going to sort of mentally remember how that would have gone. There we go. So there's one side. We'll do the other. This is the, what will this be? This will be the main pivoting joint. Or part of the main pivoting joint anyway. And there we go on that part. Now under here there is another big old screw which needs to come off, and with it should or will come this part here. There we go, there's our other. It's slightly bigger than the one for the wheels, I'll be honest. Now we have the latch, which is looking not quite as latchy as it should do. And again, 3 screws. There we go, and that bit comes off with its springs as shown. Pull those off, put these under latch because that's what this is. I've got a random black screw that I already can't remember where it goes, and then this one is literally just on here like that, and then and again, you can pull it all apart, get all the wheels out so we can get them all nice and clean. Oh, there's dog hair everywhere. And that is the main sort of chassis top apart and done. Next, well, we may as well go back up to the top of the machine, because why the devil not? And we'll undo these 4 screws here. Very long, and they go with a crack as well, which is quite satisfying in its own little way. To And with that, the top comes off of the bottom. And we can actually push these little clips in gingerly. And we'll take the power switch out because, well, why not really? It won't do that any harm to be washed. And then we can actually see that is the power switch. That little bit there is the power switch, which I've seen a lot of on eBay, so I presume they go with hilarious regularity. Even the hair's full of dust and dirt. And literally everything happens at the bottom on this. How can you get it so wrong? Who knows though, the new one might be better, really. It's probably going to be a while before I get hold of one of those to do this. And then finally, let's undo the back. Just for completeness. So we can say we have. And then would you believe it, there's 4 under here as well. I mean, never would have guessed that. And then we can separate everything. Huzzah! Oh, and then... oh yeah, you need to chop this as well. Luckily, the great thing about the Gtech Air Ram is that because it's only 22 volts, you know, we could just stick this back together with spit and it would be absolutely fine. Obviously, I wouldn't fully recommend it, but you could if you were so inclined. Crikey, now we might struggle here though. This might have been a little bit of a dead end. So I hope it's not, because I'm enjoying this. I've never had one of these apart before. I've only had the Mark 1. And that had a few bits in a different place. So it seems that actually it was pointless me cutting that cable. Or even opening this one up at all, because it all seems to be one part. Aha, it's not. Pull this wire out. And there is up here that I can push the circuit board up slightly. This is what I'm trying to do now. Because we would all like to see it. There we go. And then we can pull. Take that bit of heat shrink off. We can pull the little circuit board which controls everything. Battery indicator seems to be on that little board. Indeed, if I take this other little screw out that I found, we can see the battery indicator board, which is all rather exciting. I think you might agree, so I'll put that there. You can all go in there. You may as well be washed now. You may as well be washed. What else will come out? Oh, I've broken it! Bugger. Okay, that might have come out. I have just snapped it. Well, that's not the end of the world. We'll fix that. I just wanted to get those out. So we'll put that there. All of this can now be washed. And all we have left is the motor, which is on the back. 2 more screws, top and bottom. And again, I think these are different lengths. So that was bottom. And the top. Those rubber seals are fixed on, sadly. In fact, I think this whole thing is glued together. So no nicely washing with it all apart. Next, this whole cover lifts off and again shows lots of dirt underneath. And I'm sure I couldn't get everything else apart on this. I'm sure I tried. There's 2 screws here for the fan case. There we go. Fan case. Fan case. Beautiful. Yeah, this thing has 100 watts. 100 watts of power is inside this beast of a machine. Now, I cannot actually remember or even see what to do next. I think we take out these 2 terminals here on the side that hold the motor to the gearbox for the brush roll. And there's just a locking tab at the top, which I don't recall being too difficult to overcome last time. To be honest, even if it breaks, it's not the end of the world. I have plans for this, you see. Come on. Now I'm just trying to remove this top clip. I think I'm remembering things now. Oh, that's interesting. The gearbox casing is now made out of Phillips screws, and I'm sure that was made out of Torx screws on the original. I just have a feeling that this is now all held in together. Ooh. That's it. Fair few screws holding this together. There was on the plastic version as well. There's one side off. That was it. There's a belt. Take that belt off. And it still won't come. Why won't you? Oh. Oh, right, this isn't going well. We need to get these terminals off. And then with these terminals, I'm sure this is different. This is very different. What? That wasn't a solid epoxied thing. On the last AirRam. What? Why? You're joking. I've got to take those two terminals out. In order to clear this off of the top of here, because all these two wires on the old one, it all just came apart and it was lovely. This seems to be part of the assembly. No, that's terrible. This isn't very. Oh, I don't want to break it. Very repairable at all. Oh goodness. I want to get into the motor and get all of its crud off. Right. Okay. Change of plan. There we go. Where there is a will, there is a way. Because obviously all this gearbox housing is filthy and needs to be cleaned. Right, well, I was hoping to actually do this on a separate video, but it all sort of fell apart. So, I can't really. What you have here is, this is the Brushroll cog. This cog here, take the belts off, goes there, and that is what turns the Brushroll. It is this cog that wears, and this cog is not too worn. It's amazing, look, it's got teeth. I mean, it's covered in burnt hair and molten plastic and goodness knows what, but on the bearings of that bearing's in need of a drop of oil as well. You probably can't hear that, but that's not bad. In fact, yeah, that bearing is awful. These are okay, so I won't wash those. We're going to wash these. We don't need the belt. And I now can't again remember how far I actually was able to get with taking this motor out. I don't think it was just as simple as pushing. No. So I think I had to leave this in because it's in so stiff in this bit that it just won't come out easily or at all. Unless anybody knows something that I'm missing. So yeah, unfortunately, I can't get this as 100% clean. Actually, maybe. Let me see if I can find a socket, and we'll take that off and see if there's some screws under the front. We'll undo the nut, and we'll see how far we get. But I'm sure there was a reason that I couldn't proceed before. Could be wrong, although it's good to get the fan off because I want to wash it. Come on. You've done really well. Okay, that's just screwing off, look. Ah! Maybe this was why last time. Maybe I couldn't get the fan off. I knew there was a reason I couldn't separate them. Turned out I might have just been stupid because underneath are two glorious screws. Ta-da! One overheating nasty little motor. I'm going to have to pick all that out because that's not what you want to see. I don't even know what sort of motor this even is. I don't even know if we can have a look, because this bit will bend back on. No name, Chinese motor. All we have in terms of identification are those numbers there. And I'm going to leave that off because this thing is just full. Oh, huge chunks of crap coming out of the filter. This is what does the Dyson DC25 and 24 brushroll motors in. They're just terrible. Well, there we go. So we can wash that. We can wash this. That does make me happy. Actually, wow, we're done. Are we done? Are we missing a screw? I feel we're missing a motor screw. There it is. Ta-da! Right, so as I put those back into the motor, crikey, that is part one of Gtech Air Ram Stripdown. Done. You know what? Sorry. Part one, Gtech Air Ram Stripdown. Part two of the overall video is done. I'm going to take this pile of parts and get them washed, dried and polished, and in the next video, well, guess we should have a go at putting it back together. Right, for now, for this video, I thank you very much for watching, and I and this Gtech will see you soon. Bye bye.